Yes, let's take some questions from the audience. Where are the good people with the microphones? Here we go. What about just down here?
With bad characters or so-called bad characters, gangsters, with John Wick character, who's obviously is a killer, but how do you employ the audience to feel empathy with them or to, develop an affinity with them?
So the question is, with someone who is like your character, who's a hitman, who's presumably done terrible things, how do you get the audience on the side of your protagonist?
Well, I mean, Keanu always said this from the beginning. It's kind of like it is a eye for an eye sort of Old Testament story, and movies are stories, and we're just trying to tell a story about a guy that is in a really emotional, fragile state, and he is wronged, and whether you judge John, whether everything he did was just, probably not. But it's still fun for us to go on this sort of cathartic ride with him and experience that sort of revenge and sort of I don't know, like how to say it, like feeling good. But
yeah, but you depicted the character as having, a heart, as a kind of and a strong love relationship, and his vulnerability before he gets into. He loses something, a part of his life, and he goes to reclaim that. And I think that, there's a part of us that kind of can relate to that idea of like, they came in my house, they crushed my, they beat
they
me
violated
up, they
everything you
stomped
had.
this dog, they and you're watching that and you're like, what? You want John to like kind of get his life back.
You want him to.
So maybe we can just relate to it in a kind of way.
I mean, I think the irony of it my worry, our kind of collective worry was the audience was going to see the movie and say, God, literally 84 people are killed. And is it worth what happened to John Wick? And in fact, the reaction was, you should have killed more people. And we actually, our original version of Alfie dying was a lot more subtle. And the audience was like, no, we want to see him die. And we're like, okay. And so it was the man of the magic of movies that got us there.
Keanu, you've directed two really martial arts-driven, action-driven films that incorporate a variety of different martial arts techniques and styles and all. What did you learn from those that you brought to this, or what did you learn from this that you'll bring to the next film that you direct?
In John Wick, I got to do some things that I'd never done before, so it was like the judo and jiu-jitsu, a lot of that groundwork, the transitions, the choke holds, I didn't know anything about except for, watching fights and competitions, so that was new. And then just with the work that I've done, it was just, you just get more experience in terms of how to learn about choreography, how to deal with timing. Maybe in the beginning with The Matrix, where we would spend weeks going through a fight and all the timing would get worked out. Oftentimes on John Wick, we didn't have that much time. So all of the experiences that I've had and working with Chad and Dave, and them knowing me, my weaknesses, my strengths, and being able to put me in situations to succeed and get the shot. I think that helps. So the past helps the present in terms of just experience. I hope so. I hope to find a story to be able to tell.
It's also very handy to have a cast member that's done so much choreography, so you can train them and you can change, and it opens up the doors that we can shoot and how we shoot things. Also, you have a cast member who's also a fellow filmmaker. It's not like he can just look at the camera and knows what he has to do. I mean, it's an incredible time saver when you have someone so experienced.
Hey guys, my name's Rodney, future famous film director. Theon,
Hello,
I believe in you.
Rodney.
I love you, Keanu. I got a question. I'm nervous. Basically, you were Neo. You were the systemic anomaly. The Matrix is like one of the most important movies to me as a kid. How does it feel to be potentially another iconic action hero? And how did you guys feel actually getting them for the movie to make your movie, a Keanu action movie?
That's kind of you to say. Thank you. Hopefully people like John Wick. I had a really great time making this film. It's fun. It's got a freshness to it. It's original. So we'll see down the road. But just to be here, we're having a screening tonight. So that's pretty. I feel lucky and good so far. So if the dream gets to continue, that would be gravy and ice cream or something. I don't know.
No,
And
we're
we were
super
very lucky.
grateful. Yeah,
super
just
lucky.
we had Neo.
First movie had Neo as our lead.
May you be so lucky.
Yes.
May you be so lucky.
I just want to say welcome to all of you. And Keanu, I followed your career. I really enjoy your work. And we actually share the same initials and also the same birth date down to the year. So I have my question for you, though, is what do you find more challenging now? Do you find the physical aspect of the role more challenging, or the learning of the lines, getting into the character?
Did everyone hear that?
Happy birthday. Recently. And big 5-0. Right? Ain't so bad. I don't know, the challenges or the opportunities, which is the pleasure, I certainly can't run up and down the stairs as often, as fast and as quick as I used to. But maybe with the experience, I know that maybe I don't have to go up those stairs, that it's down here, or that it's down there, and it'll take care of itself. So, but I really enjoy action, man. I really enjoy it. And I love when action is connected to story and connected to character. And this is one of those. So whatever it takes, however it takes, whatever we got to do, that's what I like.
Love your work. And since this is an action movie, I was wondering was there any horrible accidents that happened on set? I'm sure
Horrible
there's some.
accidents is the question.
Not for me.
No, not during any of the action sequences. No, we're very lucky.
No, I didn't.
Alfie, paper
Right.
cut, anything?
Not horrible accidents.
No, it wasn't a horrible
Horrible
accident.
accident.
We made Alfie run around a lot naked.
Yeah. Which I do all the time anyway. But no, I had a little bit of a graze on my leg from a glass thing, but it was nothing. It was really, really boring. But it definitely was not a horrible accident.
Hi, Keanu. My name is Young. For your upcoming movies or for your previous movies, do you feel the pressure of getting an Oscars, or is there any at all?
The Oscar dream. I grew up, my mother watched the Oscars. And so I remember being a kid going, what am I watching? And then, because I don't want to go to sleep. But, and then it kind of, as the years went by and as I've been involved, as I have, certainly that's definitely been like a part of that, kind of like in those weird moments where you're like watching the Oscars, you're like that, aww. Can I, you go to a friend's house and they have the statues and you're like, and they always, the people who have Oscars are always like, yeah, it's my, it's whatever. And from the outside, you're like, what? But I don't know, maybe something happens to you. It's like once you get the Oscar, you're like, yeah, it's just over there. But I don't know. I mean, it would be cool just to have that experience. I mean, I've been honored to be able to present a few times, which was cool, and meet some folks. I'm like that guy who, like, when there's commercials, I like run up to people. I'm like, Mr. Scorsese, Peter O'Toole, how's it going? Daniel Day, what's up? I'm like that guy. They're like, what do you want? What are you doing? I'm like, hi, man, I love your work. So yes, but whatever.
Hi. And we spoke a little bit about how we, the audience, are going to connect with John Wick despite him doing what we would typically assume are quite bad things. But I was just wondering how Mr. Reeves, and of course you as filmmakers, which bit of him did you connect to, and how much Keanu is in the role?
So how much Keanu is in a role in which you kill 84 people is the question, I guess.
I think I really, when I was thinking about working on the role, I really connected to his grief. I liked how he suffered in the film. He gets all beat up, and I liked his grief and suffering, and I liked his will and his determination. When I work on a role, it's like the role is here, I'm here, there's the story, and the directors, and what's the vision of the story, and we all kind of come to meet, and then something else is born, you know. So I'm connected to it, but it's of me, not from me. It's of me, someone else, been influenced, creative kind of idea.
It's funny. I think the biggest part of Keanu and John Wick is Keanu's formalism. He's a very, very polite guy, a very formal guy, and it comes across in John. It's a very elegant world. Everyone wears suits. There's a politeness, almost like an English politeness, where it's not an American rhythm of how you interact with people. And I think that getting to know Keanu over the years and seeing John Wick, I see that big part of Keanu in the John Wick character.
Hi. Keanu and Alfie, given that the main plot line of the movie is that you're both trying to kill each other, how do you prepare for that sort of hostility between those two characters? I mean, is it awkward moments at the craft station, or?
I wouldn't say I'm trying to kill John Wick. Give him a little beating, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get all method, you know. Yeah.
And Keanu, what was it like for you? Because this is a film where every 10 or 15 minutes, another great character actor kind of turns up. And what was it like for you working with Dafoe and Ian McShane and so on and so forth?
Yeah, it was one of the great pleasures. It was, those are two actors who I, have enjoyed and watched their work. And so it was nice to, everyone in the movie has like a past. Everyone has a mysterious past and a mysterious connection and have gone through things that we don't see. So it was fun to have this this experience where you're doing, I've met Ian a few times over the years, but to come to the set and just, have this familiarity, that is not in life, but in the pretend part, and but it feels real, and so it was like. That was really enjoyable, like to have that conviviality and connection.
Hi, I'm Russian myself, so I'm pretty curious about why is it that stereotypical about Russians? And we don't kill dogs, obviously, none of my friends. And I have a question for Alfie. Was it hard for you to play a Russian, like, bad man?
Well, it's definitely come in handy. But it's, I was really excited about the idea of being able to learn some Russian and then be able to switch into the sort of New York accent as well. And it was I had a really good dialect coach who really stuck with me through the whole thing. And sometimes dialect coaches you kind of just want to be left to your own devices, but she was actually really, really, really helpful. But I enjoyed it, and to the point where I think you guys just kept on feeding me more Russian all the time.
Yeah, you were good at it.
Yeah.
And we have nothing against Russians. It just was in the original script.
It was in the script.
Yeah. Very colorful. We like that about him.
Hi, I'm Kerry. Keanu Reeves, I'm a huge fan of yours. Love your work. Oh my God. I actually called out today from work to be here on my birthday because I heard you here. Since 12:30 I've been here. Love you.
Happy birthday. No.
Oh, no. But
no? You're like, no.
No. My question actually is for Alfie. Keanu Reeves has...
So you don't love my work.
No, I mean...
That was a setup.
Yeah.
I actually got cornered from a couple of the fans when I told them I haven't seen the Crown of Game of Thrones. Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry. But Keanu Reeves has been doing martial arts for such a long time and has so much experience. In the movie, have you done any martial arts? And if so, was it difficult? Was there a lot of training?
Well, I actually won a karate championship when I was a kid.
Really? We didn't know.
I did now. But no, I hadn't done any since then. But like I said earlier, I was kind of on the receiving end of the stunts a lot of the time. But I definitely came in, and on my first day in New York, I came in and wanted to watch these guys do their bit because it was amazing. I think some of the action sequences in it are genuinely some of the best action sequences I've ever seen.
Okay, folks, I'm afraid that is all we have time for. I can't recommend John Wick highly enough. And please put your hands together for the people who brought it to us right here.
Thank you.